hell did you think you were gonna do? Kill me? You crazy? If I kill, I'll leave you alone. Gina! Please, get back, everyone. Please, stay away, please. Gina, are you all right? Oh, my God, you're hurt. Honey, the ambulance is getting here. We'll get you to the hospital now. Please, don't move. Over here. I can't get the door open. Please, be careful. Now she's pregnant.
Don't worry. We'll get her out of here. Just the door's jammed. We better get some over here to pry it open.
Wait a minute, officer. She tried to kill me. I want her arrested.
Arrested? God, I want to kill you myself.
Dad.
I just got here. Is she all right?
Yes, she fainted, but she was conscious when I got here. Please hurry.
He's completely paralyzed as a result of the accident.
So it's been like this for 3 years.
Yeah.
Are you sure he doesn't understand what's going on around him?
I don't know if he sees or hears or knows anything that's happening. He gives no indication of it to me or the doctors. The doctors think he's locked up in his own little world. Hello? Yes, this is Officer Gillis. How come? I was supposed to have tonight off. Yeah, I see. Yeah, okay, I'll be down there. I'm sorry. They're short-handed. I have to go back on duty. Oh, I'll call the nursing home and they'll come get Ben.
Well, look, I'll be glad to stay until they come get him. I can take a cab home.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, hello? This is Maggie Gillis. I was wondering if you could send someone for my husband. I have to go to work and Well, yeah, but the nurse can't stay all night. Yeah, I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Well, they'll be here real soon.
I can wait.
Are you hungry?
Yeah, sure. Little.
Miss Fletcher, could you make a sandwich for Mr. Lockridge?
Yes, I'd be glad to.
Thanks. Ben, I have to go to work now. Warren and Miss Fletcher will be here until they come to get you. I'm going to let you stay there tonight. I don't know when I'll be back.
Hey, there we go.
At least you'll have electricity.
Hey, don't worry about us. We'll be all right.
Thank you for everything, Warren. Well, we can talk when we have more time.
Sure. Sure, take it easy.
I'd better get in my uniform.
Are you sure? You're dead sure it couldn't have been the same guy. It couldn't have been Peter. That's incredible, Jerry. This is like a nightmare. Listen, man, will you run that by me again one more time, that part?
What's going on?
Yeah, okay. Remember about the QT, will you? I'll be talking to you. Bye.
Cruz, what is it?
It's just some cop stuff. There's nothing I can really talk about right now. You're gonna have to bear with me on that.
All right. Never seen you quite like this. You looked upset.
It's nothing. I'm upset because I'm gonna have to leave, that's all.
Whatever it is it something dangerous?
No. Would I get involved in something dangerous, baby?
Yes, in a minute. Don't take any chances. Please don't get hurt. If you won't do it for you, please do it for me.
I'm not planning on taking any chances. It's just that something I thought was over is not over. And maybe a couple of people might have to go through some trouble because of it. It's no big deal.
Sounds scary.
Baby, don't worry about it. Really. Put it out of your mind.
I can't, not with that look in your eye.
What can I tell you? I'm a born worrier.
No, you're not. You are not a born worrier, and that's what worries me. Nothing makes you look like this. Not unless it's something serious.
Well, you know me real well, huh? Maybe you know me too well.
How can you know someone you love too well? Or trust them too well? Especially with your innermost secrets?
Don't fish, Eden. I'll tell you about this as soon as I possibly can, all right? When I know what it is myself.
All right. Can you tell me one thing?
What's that?
Whatever it is it something that could hurt the two of us?
What could hurt us?
I'm not gonna let you go off like this. It's a little too ambiguous, even for me.
What are you talking about? It's nothing. I'd tell you if I could, but I can't. I can't say the things I have to say, all right? You have to be patient with me.
Yeah, well, I run around being sick and worried about you. Is it that terrible that you just can't tell me just something?
Eden Capwell, I can't talk about it yet.
You don't trust me?
It has nothing to do with trust, all right? I just don't want to get you involved.
Well, then I guess I'm just gonna have to rethink our entire relationship.
Oh, yeah? You want to back out of it now? Why don't you go ahead and try?
Oh, you think I'm in so deep I just can't quit?
You said it. You're in way over your head, kid.
All right, go.
Okay. And I'll see you around.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey,
Say what?
don't let this case get in our way. Come between us. I have a funny feeling about it.
Hey,
Please?
nothing in this world could come between us.
Here you go.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Look, I don't know if you know what's going on around you, but if you do, I'm sure you got a lot of questions in your mind about who I am and what I'm doing with Maggie. The first time I saw her was at the hospital. She'd just been involved in a shootout with a Carnation killer. I don't suppose she told you. No. Anyway, she was very brave in a very trying situation. But when it got right down to it, she couldn't pull the trigger on this guy, even though she knew he was the killer. Because of that, they took her off the streets for a while, put her behind a desk. Boy, she really hated that one. She's been feeling pretty inadequate lately because of what happened. She doesn't think she's tough enough to be the kind of cop she wants to be. I think that's why I like her, though. I mean, she would never hurt anybody unless she had to. She's so dedicated to everything she's doing. And loyal. Boy, is she loyal. Especially to you. I mean, I know you know that. I just wanted to sort of reinforce it for you a little bit. She's a wonderful woman, Ben. And I know she loves you very much.
Gently, please be careful. I'm gonna go to the hospital with her in the ambulance.
Okay, what about Brandon? Is he still at the house?
He's there with Rosa. She should be told what happened.
Well, I'm kind of worried about the press getting holed up. I think somebody should be there to protect him.
Would you see to it that the press doesn't get to anybody at the house until I get there?
You want me to do you a favor, huh?
Yes. Would you do that for me?
Of course I will.
And don't let anyone ask Brandon any questions about his mother. I'll do that when I get home.
Well, he's bound to ask about her. What do you want me to tell him?
Just tell him that she had a minor accident. Minimize it. I don't want him to think that that he may lose her.
No, I know. I don't want him frightened either.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate
Excuse me,
your
Mr.
concern.
Capwell, but if you're coming, you better come in quick because she's losing blood and we're going to have to do a transfusion.
All right, I'm coming.
All right. I'll take care of everything at the house, Stan.
How do you like that? She tried to kill me, now she may die herself. Kind of poetic justice, don't you think?
Judson, if I were you, I'd keep your mouth shut. You're on very shaky ground here.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna be around here to bother you. I'll head over to the hospital.
You'd be a lot smarter to stay away from her.
You think I'm gonna let her get away with this? I'll tell you something, she'd be a lot better off if she doesn't make it. Because she made a big mistake here. She got me really mad.
Well, I'm glad you guys are here. I was just sticking around till you got here in case you could use a little help.
Yeah, we're old hands at this. Well, Ben, I guess we get you back with us tonight. You friend of the family?
No, I'm just a friend of Mrs. Gillis.
Friend?
Yeah.
She's had friends before. They don't last long, though, once they know her situation.
Mason,
It's all right, Rosa. I'm here with Dad's official permission.
then there's been some kind of reconciliation?
No, I wouldn't call it that. He just wants me to keep an eye on things until he gets back. There been any calls from reporters yet?
Several. All wanting to know the same thing I want to know. How is Gina?
I honestly don't know. She was unconscious when they took her to the hospital. The paramedic said something about a transfusion.
That poor child. She's been so upset lately. Do you know what happened?
No, there are no other cars involved. I can't say exactly what happened.
And, Cece, he wasn't in the car with her, I hope.
No, he's gonna be fine. Where's Brandon?
Upstairs?
Does he know yet?
No.
Good, I'm gonna talk to him.
Of course, dear. I'll get something for you both to drink.
Thanks, Rosa. Hey, Brandon!
Mason!
Hi, Guy. I'm here to, keep you company for a little while.
Goody! Want to read me a story? Mommy bought me a new book yesterday.
Yeah, I think I could manage that. You want to go get it?
Okay.
Here you are.
Good. Let's put it out here, Rosa. I'm gonna read to Brandon for a little while.
Good. He's been starting to ask for Gina.
Well, I'll keep him occupied.
I'll listen for the phone. You mentioned blood transfusions. That must mean she's badly hurt.
We'll just have to wait and see.
Something should happen to Gina. It would kill your father.
Well, I'm not worried about Dad. He's a survivor. It's Brandon I'm worried about.
I'll let you tell him whatever you think he should know.
Yeah, well, it isn't going to be much right now. I think the best thing to do is just wait and see what happens first.
Mr. C, I got word on the radio.
Cruz, I'm glad you're here.
How is she?
I'm waiting for the doctor now. Look, I want you to take over the investigation entirely.
I mean, of the accident?
No, of everything. This Hank Judson is accusing Gina of trying to kill him, and he says he's going to press charges. It's ridiculous.
Oh, Judson. Where is he now?
I don't know. He's somewhere in the hotel, in the hospital. He insisted on coming. There he is back there.
Well, all right. I'll talk to him.
Cruz, don't just talk to him. Get rid of him.
Mr. C, I'll do what I can, but...
They told me to report to you?
Yeah, CC Capwell, this is Officer Maggie Gillis.
Yes, the officer and I have already met.
Officer
Mr.
Gillis will be handling Mrs. DeMott's case.
All right, I hope she can find out what happened. I don't know what caused the accident. By the time I got outside, it had already occurred. There was Glass everywhere. The car was a mess.
I'm sorry about that, Mr. C. Listen, I want to talk to you about a couple things in a minute, but why don't you find a nurse first and see if we can get a blood alcohol level on her?
Blood alcohol?
Got to have it for the report.
Yes, sir. I'll get on it right away.
Okay.
Mr. Capwell, I'm afraid I don't have very good news for you.
What is it, Doctor?
Well, Miss D'Amata has apparently received a severe blow to the head in the accident. She's going to have surgery to reduce the pressure on the brain. We're checking her in right now.
Can you give me any kind of a prognosis?
Oh, I'm sorry, not now. At this moment, we don't know anything. We're not going to know anything until we get a chance to go in there and examine. Listen, it's going to be a while before I get back to you, so just please be patient, okay? Excuse me.
Look, I don't care what you say. There is no way you can whitewash her. What we were involved in was an extortion case that led to a murder charge, and she was my accomplice.
Was she convicted of the crime?
No, the charges against her were dropped.
And she's innocent.
She was lucky.
Why are you so anxious to incriminate her? If you felt anything for her, had any feelings at all, I think you would help her.
Whoever said anything about feelings? She was a meal ticket, that's all. A nice, cute, blonde meal ticket.
Contemptible.
Whatever that means.
It means I think you're repulsive.
Look, I don't give a damn what you think about me. You don't have to like a man to do business with him. And I'll tell you something. If you want to keep this out of the press, you better pay me off.
Not a chance. If you want to try to spread your lies, go ahead. See if you can find somebody to listen to you. No one has ever blackmailed me before. Nobody's going to start to do it now. If you'll remember the last time you tried extortion, it led to a murder charge.
A charge I happen to have beaten.
You may not get off so easily this time.
It seems like something you ought to remember more than me. After all, you got a hell of a lot more to lose than I do.
That's true. It's also true that I can afford to lose it, and you can't. Now, you stay away from me. I've got nothing more to say to you.
All right, Capwell. You asked for it. Whatever happens now, you brought it on your own head.
And I finally decided it wasn't fair to him, so I took him home to meet my husband.
Yeah, what did he say?
That he was sorry. I could see the pity in his eyes. Actually, he was wonderful about it. He even stayed with him until the people from the nursing home came.
Yeah, well, Warren's real good people. You know, you could do worse.
I have a husband, Cruz. I can't get involved with Warren or anybody.
Hey, I'm just... Speak of the devil. How you doing, man?
All right, Cruz.
Listen, I think I'll leave you two to talk. You want to catch up with me later outside of OR?
You're right.
Hi.
Hi. Was everything okay?
Yeah, sure, no problem. They came about 20 minutes after you left.
Thank you for staying.
My pleasure.
I'm sure you have a lot of questions.
No, not right now, not about this.
Well, I could have sworn that's why you were here.
No, actually, I'm here to strictly cover a story. One of the cops outside said you were the officer in charge. May I ask you a few questions about Gina DeMont?
My question first. How come you get all the big stories?
Because I own the paper and I assign them to myself.
Yeah, that's called nepotism.
So who cares? Maybe one of them will bring me a Pulitzer. No, seriously now, about Gina.
Oh, well, there's not that much I can tell you. I don't even know all the details yet. Mrs. DeMott's in surgery because there's pressure on her brain. They don't know what her chances are or how long it'll take.
Any idea how the accident happened?
Not yet. Hank Judson's running around here somewhere claiming that she tried to kill him, missed him, and crashed.
Oh, that's interesting. That's what I call a borderline scandal.
Yeah, funny, to me it just sounds a little far-fetched.
Yeah, well, either way, it doesn't sound very much like Gina, does it?
Yeah, that's right. You know her. You knew her sister. I forgot about Summer Blake. Well, that's all I know. I wish I could tell you more.
Yeah. Well, look, thanks anyway. I'm going to stick around here and see if I can dig up something else. I mean, you know, it being involved with the Capwells and all, maybe it can be some front-page work.
Yeah, I have to go see Cruz. Maybe we can talk later.
Yeah. think we should.
Hey, Jimmy Olsen, looking for a story? Truce. I got a good story for you. A real winner.
Oh, yeah? What about?
Gina DeMott. Some trouble she was in 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah, well, now, hold on now. We don't print stories like that.
You'd be crazy if you don't. It's real juicy. Send old C.C. Capwell to an early grave.
Look, I said forget it, okay?
Okay. Okay, pal, but you don't know what you're missing out on. I guess that's not my problem.
Guess not.
Warren, I overheard you refused to print his gossip. I want you to know that I appreciate that.
Well, I mean, in all due respect, Mr. Capwell, I didn't turn him down because of you. I did it because Gina's Summers' sister. Also because I know what kind of man Hank Judson is.
Whatever your motives, I'm grateful.
Fine. But you should know that I'm not the only ball game in town. I mean, he's gonna find somebody else to print that.
Well, I'm sure he's going to keep on trying. But whoever does, they're going to open up their newspaper for a libel suit. He may find that he is having a little less luck than he thinks.
You know, I don't think I'm gonna like stories like this very much at all.
Why is that?
Tough to find any good guys.
I had no time left me to recover. At the sharp clipping tone of the parrot, the sleepers awoke and sprang
Mason?
up.
Hi, Brandon.
Eden?
Hi, Eden.
You having fun?
Yeah, Mason's reading to me.
Oh, really? You know, he was awfully good in school in reading. He used to get A's all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Even in French. Il ne sait rien de sa mère. Tu comprends?
Oh, oui, compris.
What's that?
Oh, we were just practicing our French. Brushing up on it, I should say. Don't you have a book all about France? Why don't you go get it? I'll read to you from that one now.
Okay.
Still doesn't know anything about his mom?
I didn't want to tell him anything until I knew what the situation was.
Well, it's been a while. Maybe I'll call Daddy. Call the hospital. You know, Mason, I think it's awfully nice the way you're taking care of Brandon.
Well, I kind of enjoy it. I'm not exactly overly busy these days.
Yes, this is Eden Capwell. I'm calling about Gina DeMott. Yeah, she was brought in on a... Yes, thank you.
I don't think they're going to tell you much over the phone.
Yes. Well, do you have any idea when... All right, thank you. She's in surgery and they don't know anything for sure. I think I'm gonna go down and be with Daddy.
Okay.
Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Rosa's fixing me something to eat, and we'll put Brandon down in a little while.
Thanks for everything, Mason. I'll call you if I hear anything.
Appreciate it.
Here it is. The pictures are neat.
Well, let's have a look at it then. Oh, yeah. The chateaus of France.
Mommy bought it for me.
Oh, she did, huh?
Do you know when she's coming home?
She should be home soon, but probably not before you go to bed.
There you are. I've been looking for you. I baked you some cookies.
Good. Can Mason have some too?
Of course he can. Why don't you go into the kitchen and put a few on a plate and bring them here to share with Mason? See, mi amor?
Okay.
Any word yet?
No, Eden just called the hospital. Gina's in surgery. They don't know if she's going to make it.
I hate waiting and not knowing. Makes me feel so helpless.
Yeah, well, Eden just left for the hospital. I'm sure she'll keep us posted. Rosa, Gina doesn't pull through. Think Santana will come back for Brandon's sake?
I'm sure she would.
Think she'll tell him she's his real mother?
I don't know. She loves him very much. You really love him too, don't you, Mason?
Yeah, I guess I do.
He feels the same way about you, dear. I can tell by the way his face lights up when he sees you.
I tell you something, Rosa. The truth be known, I never quite got over Santana. It almost killed me when I found out that Brandon was her child by Channing. I can't really hold that against Brandon, now can I?
What's wrong, Mason, dear?
Well, don't you tell Dad, but I've kind of missed this place.
No, the lapses, there's absolutely no doubt about it. The last 3 sentences of Peter's suicide note were typed by somebody else.
Are you saying that Peter didn't kill Channing? That someone else did?
What does it sound like to you? It had to have been somebody else, which means we still got a killer walking around there on the loose. I'm gonna reopen the investigation. But that stays between you and me, you understand? It's gonna cause more pain for some people who've already suffered enough as it is. And we're gonna approach it very carefully.
Oh, well, you don't have to worry about me saying anything. Are you going to let me work on it?
I just might, Gillis. I'm starting to like your style.
Oh, I'd like to. I mean, if you're looking for volunteers.
Well, we'll see how it develops. Never mind. I'm gonna go talk to Gina's doctor for a second, so I'll be back.
Oh, you want me to stick around?
Yeah, why don't you? Something tells me we've got a lot ahead of us tonight.
Can you do something about this guy? I mean, you're causing a lot of pain and hurt to my family and trouble with Gina and my father. Can't you lock him up?
Well, what can I do? I got nothing to charge him with.
Well, with a guy like that, I don't think you'd have much problem finding something.
Hey, you're not going to railroad me. Look, I'm the injured party here. She tried to run me down. I didn't do anything to her. If anybody's going to press charges, it's going to be me. If I were you, Mr. Judson, I'd keep my big mouth shut. Oh, yeah, why is that? Because I'm not a Capwell? They all get special treatment, don't they?
Make yourself scarce, pal.
You know, you might wait until you can't be overheard before you say something like that.
I don't care if he heard me or not. I'm glad he did.
You don't care, do you?
I'm gonna go talk to my dad.
Yeah, why don't you go talk to your dad? Listen, Warren, do you mind giving us a little privacy? I gotta talk to Officer Gillis here.
Sure.
We can talk later.
Yeah. Thank you, yeah.
Now, what's up?
Look, about this Peter Flint thing. We're gonna have to talk to everybody who was around his apartment the day he wrote that confession. Now, somebody else had to have come in before our people got there and typed those extra lines, right? And if my memory is correct, whoever it was didn't have a hell of a lot of time to get in and out. Maybe it was somebody we all know.
Well, why do you say that?
Because the timing was so perfect. I mean, it seemed like that whoever it was must have known what was going on and when, especially when Peter was going to be in the apartment.
Do you think it was Lindsay trying to frame Peter?
Now, that wouldn't shock me. I think a jilted lover is always a suspect to go for revenge. Lindsay said that he broke it off with Channing, but I'd be willing to bet that it was the other way around. Maybe Channing threatened to cut off the payments or something, so Lindsay figured he'd kill him and frame Peter.
It sure makes sense.
Yeah, kind of does, doesn't it? It's the only possibility we really got right now, anyway.
No matter what you say, I still feel like I'm partially responsible for what happened.
Why, Daddy?
I was the one who pressured Gina about Hank. She said she was frightened.
Well, of him, I don't blame her.
She was afraid that maybe our relationship would end. She thought that if I talked to him, that maybe we might not have a future together.
Sounds to me as if she were worried that he was going to tell you about her.
That occurred to me also.
You did have the right to know.
Did I? I mean, it was her past, her life, after all. Maybe I should have just left it alone.
Did you find out about her? Did he tell you?
Sorry, honey, I don't want to talk about it now.
Daddy, I think I have a right to know. After all, she's going to be my stepmother, right?
Honey, let's just say that Gina had a hard life. She had to struggle to help herself and Summer, and that she did some things that she's not very proud of.
Was she ever convicted?
No. But remember one thing, honey. Whatever she did, it was done a long time ago. And since then, she's led an exemplary life. Her marriage to Stockman was an ideal marriage. She's been a wonderful mother to Brandon. And she's pregnant with my child now. Unless that's slipped your mind.
What about the baby?
I don't know. I forgot to ask the doctor. I was so concerned about her injuries that he had gone back into the operating room before I thought about it. Honey, they don't even know if she's going to recover. They can't even give me any kind of prognosis.
I'm sorry. For you and for her. I know what you must be feeling.
I've been so unfair to her in so many ways. How can you ask for perfection and an unblemished past from someone? How can anyone ask that?
Daddy? If she pulls through, are you still gonna marry her?
I honestly don't know.
I turned to run, struck violently against one person, recoiled and ran full into the arms of the second, who for his part closed upon me and held me tight. "Bring a torch, Dick," said Silver, when my capture was thus assured, and one of the men left the log house and presently returned with a lighted brand. Ooh, what do you think about that, Brandon? Brandon? Poor little guy. You just sleep. No matter what happens around here, kiddo, you and I are going to be friends. You got that? There may be hell to pay from Uncle CC, but you're going to have me to count on. Because you're Santana's son. And that makes you a very special little boy.
Mason,
Yeah, it's all right. You can sleep. You want me to carry you up to bed?
I want to wait until Mommy gets home.
Well, I think I should tell you, Brandon, that your mommy may not be home tonight.
She won't? Why?
Well, she was in a little accident earlier this evening.
Accident?
Yeah, well, just a little one, but she was kind of shaken up, so they took her to the hospital to run some tests on her. She'll probably spend the night there, but she said to tell you that you're not to worry and to get to bed at your regular time.
You sure she's okay?
Yeah, she's going to be fine.
Okay, if you say so.
Now, how about a piggyback ride up to bed?
Piggyback?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Let's stand here. All right, you ready? All set?
Yep.
Off we go.
Yippee!
Mr. Capwell.
Is it over?
Yeah, we just finished.
How is she?
Well, she's still in critical condition. I'm having her moved into intensive care now. I'm just going to have to watch her and see how she does. I was able to relieve the pressure, but there's some other injuries. Some of them minor, some of them less so. Of course, now the big question is whether or not there's going to be any permanent brain damage. That'll all depend on whether and just how soon she recovers consciousness.
Is there somebody, some specialist that we can bring in to help her?
Oh, no, I understand your concern, Mr. Capwell, but you're just going to have to take my word for it. My colleagues and I, we've done everything that can be done. Look, it's going to be several hours, at least, before she wakes up. You given any thought to getting any rest yourself?
That's all right. I'm going to be fine. I want to wait here and be here when she wakes up.
Okay. Suit yourself.
Doctor.
Yes?
I keep forgetting to ask. How's the baby?
Baby? What baby's that?
She's pregnant. She only just found out. Haven't you examined her?
No, not for pregnancy. I mean, our main concern was the injuries to the head. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on the pregnancy. I appreciate you telling me, though. I'll bring in a specialist right away.
You like that boy a lot, don't you?
Yeah, well, he's a likable guy.
Does it go any deeper than that?
What are you talking about? I told you I have a husband.
Hey, Gillis, I'm not asking you if you're unfaithful to your husband. I just asked you how you felt about Warren.
It doesn't matter what I feel. I've met a couple people since Ben's accident. They all pick up and run when they find out about it. Don't expect Warren will be any different.
I think you're wrong. Warren is different.
Well, I have no business about thinking about anyone else. I have Ben. And I'm going to be there for him as long as he needs me. I decided that a long time ago.
You did, huh? What if he needs you the rest of his life? Or yours? What if you outlive him? It's a possibility, you know?
Yeah, it's conceivable, I guess.
So, you got things all set up, huh? You're just gonna stick it out alone? Because of your sense of obligation? Your sense of guilt?
Look, you're asking me questions I haven't even asked myself, okay?
Maybe it's time you started asking them. Sorry. I gotta have one last check with her doctor, and then I'm gonna get out of here. I don't see any reason for you to hang around either. You wanna go on home?
You sure it's all right?
Yeah, I think you've done enough for one day, Gillis. I think you did good, too. I think the report can wait till the morning. We'll have a better idea of her condition by then. We can also reopen this other deal. So, why don't you get some rest?
Sure. Thanks. And I will go and try to sleep on what you've said. Ought to give me a real restful night.
Hey, Maggie. I'm sorry if I upset you. It's none of my business anyway. Forget I opened my mouth. Please.
Hello?
Maggie, you're home.
Yeah, I just walked in.
Good. How you feeling?
I'm tired. It's very quiet and empty around here. I'd forgotten how quiet this apartment gets. I guess maybe it's just coming back from the hospital and all that activity.
Yeah,
Probably has something to do with it. That and your husband being brought back to the nursing home. Listen, I've been thinking. I think we should see each other and talk.
Really?
Yeah, you sound surprised.
I am a little. I mean, I don't have much more information to give you in the way of a story.
No, this has nothing to do with the story. I want to talk to you about you.
When?
Well, you call the shots. I run a pretty loose ship here.
Well, it's awful late tonight and I'm real tired.
Well, then why don't we shoot for sometime tomorrow?
Fine. I have to be at the hospital at 9 to check on Mrs. DeMott. I can drop by your office beforehand.
Great.
Oh, and Maggie,
Yeah?
cheer up. Things will work out all right. They usually do.
Do they?
They do for me.
Good night, Warren.
Hi.
Hi, is everything all right?
Well, compared to what, you know? She's out of surgery. She's in the ICU, still unconscious. The doctor says that he will call your house immediately if and when she regains consciousness.
They think she might not?
That's what he said.
So amazing how things happen so quickly.
Yeah. You weren't planning on staying here tonight, were you?
Well, I haven't had any better offers.
Well, how about the standing offer you got from me?
Yeah, well, who wants to spend the night standing?
Don't get smart, baby. Just get ready.
Oh, you think every time you snap your fingers, I'm just gonna come running, huh?
Look it, I'm tired. Don't start with this battle of the sexes jive. Just pack up your troubles, woman, and come on in my boat.
Well, all right, since you asked so nicely. But I have to check on Brandon and talk to Rosa, and I'll come back down, okay?
Okay.
Listen, I'm glad you came by. I was planning on calling you later anyway.
You wait about an hour, I'll make you gladder.
Well, I'm gonna hold you to that. I hope you're up to it.
You rat. Channing was probably standing about here. We know the bullet came from a low angle. So maybe the killer was sitting at the desk. Maybe he kept the gun out of sight while they were talking. Or maybe he surprised Channing. Maybe Channing never even knew he was there. Maybe he just spun around to face him.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Cruz?